Good evening, my fellow seekers of happiness. We're going to look a bit further at what depression actually is tonight. Yesterday, all right, pretty much gave some details of my experience with blackstrap molasses in combating it. Depression is obviously a negative feeling, and it drains you. You don't really want to do anything, and it can take the form of sadness, it can take the form of feeling desperate, not wanting to continue breathing, not wanting to wake up, to a fairly mild feeling that there's nothing ahead. um, the causes can range from purely biochemical. Your body does have biorhythms. um, This is fairly well documented, and at certain times of the year, all your systems are low, and at that time, your body, the technical term for it is that it is depressed, and your emotions will follow your physiology. There are other times, though, when your physiology is quite strong, but you have met a series of circumstances which make you feel less than 100%. And it's quite important to know when you can do something about being depressed and when you just have to ride it out like a storm. And a lot of that is down to recognizing what the actual causes are. There's the feeling of overwhelm when you have, for example, massive mountains of debt and then one more thing goes wrong. You can be in a situation which you are very unhappy about, an unhappy relationship with somebody, and you don't know what to do about it because you're in the middle of it. When you're in the middle of an ocean and you don't have a life ring, and you're just trying to keep your head above water, and you don't even feel you have the strength to swim. You probably don't have the strength to swim in those circumstances. It's easy to feel like, what's the point? I'm just going to get eaten alive by sharks anyway. But somebody who is several meters away, but on a boat, they can see a way out for you, and they know that maybe you can't see that boat, but they can see you. And this is not a terribly useful metaphor, but I'm trying to point out that the people in a different situation can sometimes see a way out that you can't. But that is not helpful to you, is it? Because in those circumstances, all you are aware of is what you are experiencing at that time, and you feel utterly, utterly alone. And you want to get out, but you don't have the fight in you anymore. So you can also, so there's a sort of conditions and apparent failure where you've tried to do something and it hasn't gone right, and maybe it's say the umpteenth time, but I mean anything after about 3, you start. There's that learned helplessness syndrome where you start believing that nothing you do will make a difference and you just can't win. So, in this situation or in those situations, platitudes, and that's what they seem like when people, well-meaning or otherwise, they try to do the on your feet soldier, give you a pep talk, or they try to sympathize with you, but give you platitudes. It's going to get better. Just wait it out. These things do not help. I know that, and everybody knows that. Everybody's been depressed at some point. Everybody. So, as I said before, a lot depends on the nature of the depression that you're suffering and also the causes of the depression. Is it biological? Is it perceived failure, or is it an endless series of circumstances that you feel are out of your control? The first thing to do of a positive nature, apart from blackstrap molasses, and I'm going to keep banging that because they turn my life around, but the other thing to do is get some rest. A lot of the times, the three circumstances go hand in hand. They kind of intermesh. And certainly your biological systems being down are not going to help. So the first thing you need to do is take care of your body. Give it some good food. Do not abuse it with bad food. Do not drink alcohol at the time. That's definitely not going to help. Going on a bender is the worst thing you can do. Taking drugs is the worst thing you can do. If you need to get medical help, consider that. And I'm not a medical expert, I'm not a nutritional expert, but I would say that a lot of these things, they kind of interlace with each other. A bad diet, lack of sleep, lack of exercise. One of the best things you can actually do is go for a walk, a 20-minute walk. Just get your lymph glands going and find some way of getting your endorphins going and some serotonin, some dopamine. So, sleep. If you're tempted to get some junk food simply because it would be quick, resist the temptation. Get something healthy. Fill up on something healthy. Avoid anything with alcohol in it. And get some sleep, get some rest. And then, the other thing that I've recommended before is find something to laugh at, something that will amuse you, because that will reverse a lot of the negative chemicals in your body. And remember, I keep saying we are a bag of chemicals. You need to adjust your biochemistry. And once you've done that, you'll find that the other circumstances will seem lighter. So you need to attend to your internal biochemistry first, and then try to step back and get to be the viewpoint of the person on the ship, in that very bad metaphor from before, and then you'll find that things have a different perspective. Okay, we'll look at this a bit more tomorrow. Okay, subscribe if you found this useful, and take care to your health.